Zara.
Hello, how are you,
I'm
Sarah?
good. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me today. So tell everyone where you are and what you're up to.
Hello, everybody. I'm Zara Dance. I'm here in my new flat in Cairo. I've just moved house because I've just got married. I'm here in my new flat in Cairo, but I've been in Cairo for about 4 years now professionally. I'm half Egyptian, but living and working professionally about 4, 5, maybe even 5, because time's going so fast. Corona. I can't even remember. 4 to 5 years I've been here working, and I've just moved into a house, and so I might be a bit dusty and dirty. I've got workmen in the house, but I'm here with you guys today, and I'm really happy.
Yay, living the dream, living the dance dream in Cairo.
I'm living the moving nightmare at the moment, but yeah, I living the dance dream. It's not been the easiest of dance dreams with Corona in the middle, but yes, living the dance dream.
Happening. So I'm trying to think where you and I met. We've met at a few UK events, which is difficult because you're not in the UK very often, and I'm not in the UK very often. But we've been at the same events.
We've been at a few of the same events, but also I really remember you from your book.
Right.
Your book, and we did book launches, and we had you on the front of Zameena, and I just fell in love with you from that, and I loved your book on I just loved your book and the article you did on it, and then also your daughter came and did an article on how to be a belly dance teacher. I just thought it was brilliant books, and I really enjoyed your work in the books and the photography in the books. And I just thought they were really, really good books.
Thank you.
So yeah, and I think we sold out. We had a few signed copies from you and stuff. It was really good.
So I know I kind of got into the Zameena Magazine. I think we were super early, the cover that we did and the things together. How long's that been going? Because it's huge.
We're up to our 116th issue.
Wow.
We're breaking up a little bit. Is the internet okay? Every now and again it comes in and out. You can hear me. That's good. That's why I'm just pausing, because sometimes you're freezing. I'm so sorry. As I said, I'm in my new house. I apologize to everybody if my internet's out. It's a new house and I'm on mobile data. The internet hasn't been put in yet. You was one of the first people I ever did an official cover for before the magazine came out, because at the beginning they were just newsletters. It started as something very, very tiny. I had I had about 40 people on a mailing list, which I thought was loads, and 40 people is, a nice amount of customers to have on a mailing list. But now I have over 2,000 people on my mailing list. It goes out to hundreds of countries. It's up to 116 issues. It comes out every month, but right at the beginning, because it wasn't so big, I didn't do every month. I'd skip a month if I was busy. For example, I'm moving. I stayed up until it's just gone out, the new 16th issue today. I stayed up until 8 a.m. I didn't sleep all night, because now it's become to the point where you can't miss an issue. And so before, when it was right at the beginning days, I'd either do it or not do it some months, and but now I have to do it, and that meant that I was up until 8 a.m. yesterday because I was moving house. I had to go dance on a boat, come back to the house, do the house, and then I stayed up until 8 a.m. to do Zameena. I slept, I napped, I got up today. I'm gonna do this interview. Got up today. I let the builders in. The builders are going around. I'm gonna finish here. I'm gonna up my makeup a bit more, and then go to a boat to dance. So that's how I'm living my life now. So yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad you could squeeze me in.
Yes. It's a pleasure. Pleasure is all mine. I really love, and since that Zameena, you've been an amazing support. I have to tell you, you've always supported Zameena. You always pushed it. Oh, I put my heart and soul in that with my mum, by the way. My mum, I finished 8 a.m., but then it's like a tag team. She did the first part, then I did the second part, and now I've tagged it back to her. She does all the spelling checks because I have very bad dyslexia, and she does all the spelling checks. She does all the checks, and then she sends it out whilst I'm sleeping in the morning. So that's usually how it's done. It's a mother-daughter tag team. And so, yeah, me and my mum put all our heart in there. And I have to say, I've done a lot of dance achievements in my life, but Zameena is one of my biggest, one of my proudest things. When I look back on the archive, I'm overwhelmed.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you have spoken to everyone. You've filled it with great interviews. Yeah, I think people should, if they're not already following, they should be getting that newsletter and maybe going back and looking at some of the previous issues, because it's quality, and you are you know, you're following today. It's history in the making. You're writing down the important things that are happening in our industry as they happen.
It's definitely cataloging a lot of stuff, and I feel very proud. Sometimes I feel a bit, I know I've got 2,000 subscribers and that's really great, but sometimes I wish more people would read it, because I just feel like it's such an amazing, and I very rarely blow my own horn, but it's such an amazing resource. Mm-hmm. I put so much research in it being here in Cairo, and also having, because I have mixed heritage, the Egyptian side of it, and translating that into English, not just translating language wise, but translating culture, understanding the mind frame of an Egyptian, because as a mixed race person, I've had to translate it for myself in that crossover from Egyptian to Western. How can I understand this? What does this mean? You know, and that's not something that everybody can do, even if you was to learn Arabic. Because I've grown up with both cultures all my life, I do feel like I have a very special perspective, which I do try to exploit for the benefit of the belly dance community. And I wish even more people would read it. And as I said, I don't blow my horn much, but this is a very good resource. And we have had so many amazing articles from outside people as well, not just myself. I've been a host to amazing resources, like some of our resident writers, some of our who write 4 times a year for us, and some of our guest writers, some of our interviewees. There is just so much in there.
You're in that position, and it's very kind of you to do this, but you're a guide for people like me. So I have no understanding of the culture, and I want to, and you're the perfect guide, because you're willing to share that information with people like me, and, you know, guide me in. You've introduced me to so many artists that I'd never know. I mean, we tend to be a belly dance pocket. So I could list famous belly dancers in America. You're showing me, you know, not only the famous dancers in Egypt, but also the people of culture that we should be paying attention to.
Yes, I feel like the belly dance community can be very cliquey. It's something that I've never been accepted into, and I think it's a bit of a rebellion that I try and do this myself as well, but also because it is important, because belly dance isn't just these famous dancers. Actually, quite often the people that are famous in the belly dance community are not the people that are famous in Egypt. And and also trying to fight fantasies about my culture and my cultural dances and stuff like that, and trying to bring it back to realism, and actually reconnecting the belly dance community with Egyptians, and not making us, I sometimes feel we're over fantasized sometimes, or on the other hand, we're also quite like made to feel like dancing monkeys, not humanized, dehumanized. I feel like how sometimes the belly dance community talks about Egyptians like we're circus monkeys. So I wanted to bridge that gap between Egyptians and things, and not just belly dance festivals, which can be very fake or cliquey or something that I've never been accepted into. So I wanted to open up the ground more, and then also to see normal Egyptians or smaller artists, or, you know, I wanted to really bring it back to reality, and also the reality of what belly dance is in Egypt. There's many different levels, many different types of belly dance, many different contexts in which belly dance is practiced in Egypt. Some of them are very exactly like the fantasies, very kind of golden era, or you still have a lot of amazing cabarets, amazing shows with full.
Yeah, we got you back, Zara. Thank you for coming back.
I'm so sorry about that. Where did you leave me? I think I was talking about belly dance comes from the street. There's lots of different types of belly dancing, from 1-star to 5-star locations. And also not just having the unique perspective of being mixed race, I also have the unique perspective that when I first came to Cairo, I danced in many, many different places. I came for the experience. A lot of, especially foreign dancers, will come and enter in at a certain level, and they'll only dance in certain types of places. It's very rare. Because I also had an Egyptian belly dance license, I could dance in different places. Usually foreigners will come and they'll enter into boats. No, I came and I danced in everything from backstreet cabaret to things called night art, or very dodgy places, ballady weddings, street weddings, things that I even know other foreign belly dancers have even written blogs about. I would never do this kind of work. I did a lot of work that was from the, and I'm also done, very fortunately, I've danced in many of the top places as well. So I've had again, something that you don't often have this perspective of, I also have that kind of perspective. So again, having worked in all those places, I also wanted to bring that to the forefront, because when I was learning belly dance, I didn't know all this existed, or I kind of knew, but it wasn't so at the forefront of the belly dance community. So that was also something that I wanted to bring to the belly dance community, and something that very few foreign belly dancers in Egypt have experienced. And also, if they have been experienced by Egyptians, they usually don't have the platform to then go and tell the Western belly dance community. So it's bridging these gaps.
So that kind of brings us round to your workshop that's going to be on the Belly Dance Bundle. I did an unboxing last week, and I was going through like reading the headlines, and then I got to yours and I was like, oh, I need to come back and read this. Explain to us about your lecture on the Belly Dance Bundle coming up.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's been requested as well. And the lecture is going to be called Egyptian Belly Dancers, a Disappearing Act. It's going to be talking about all the things that affect Egyptian belly dancers and have been affecting the Egyptian belly dancers over the past, not just few years, but since foreign belly dancers started to come in. And also, it's not just about foreign belly dancers, it's about cultural changes, about political changes, about changes going on in the world that are affecting Egyptian belly dancers and making it what I believe is continuously harder for Egyptian belly dancers. And as a result, you're seeing a lot of foreign dancers dominating the market in Egypt, especially at the top end of the market. And more famous belly dancers are becoming foreign as opposed to Egyptian. And it talks about all the different things that are all kind of, there's no such thing as a singular problem or one issue problem. There's many different factors: politics, social media, language barriers, and foreign influences, foreign incomes, how the belly dance community is playing its role. It's not without the belly dance community are having a knock-on effect on the belly dance industry in Egypt, and how everything, colonialism. So we'll be talking about lots of ripping back different levels. I'm not saying that foreign belly dancers don't have their own issues when they come to Egypt. I myself, and I said this at the beginning of the lecture, I represent both a foreign belly dancer and an Egyptian belly dancer. I have the privileges of both being a foreigner, and also there's sometimes privileges being Egyptian when you're on the Egyptian belly dances. I get to exploit both. So again, I have this perspective which I can use and say, look, I understand what privileges are of a foreign belly dancer. I'm not denying that I benefit from X, Y, Z privileges for being foreign. And I can admit to them a little easier sometimes than other foreigners can sometimes admit. Also, as a foreigner, I also know what issues foreign belly dancers face, but that's not the point of the lecture. You know, I'm not going to deny that coming to Egypt and being a foreign belly dancer isn't easy. It's with its own issues. But what we're looking at is Egyptian belly dancers. It's very important because regardless of whether you like certain foreign belly dancers, as I have many friends, even myself can be considered a foreign belly dancer. I have many good friends in Egypt. Some of the best support I have been other fellow foreign belly dancers. But you can't deny that when the number of Egyptian belly dancers is going down, it's a very worrying thing as to what is Egyptian belly dance. What is the future of Egyptian belly dance? Is it being appropriated? Is it being ripped away? Is it something that will no longer exist in the future? Is it even some kind of in the world heritage kind of thought? Is this something that is going to be around forever, or has it, what is Egyptian belly dance in the end anyway, if it's not Egyptians doing it?
Right, and this comes down to all the fundamental, where we're at right now. I really love your haflas. You're bringing different people into our circle. So as an outside observer and as a tourist in the belly dance world, how can I best support the people who are really doing the work and the people who need to be dancing and need the support?
And also you'll find that there's a very unfair bias.
Right.
These aren't, when you say, I talk about supporting Egyptian artists, the truth is that some of these dancers and some of these people are hidden gems. It's just they haven't had certain privileges that bring them to the forefront or mean that they benefit from the belly dance society community. And also, I don't want to, and I talk about this in my talk. It's not just Westerners are the problem. Sometimes Egyptians are the problems themselves. Some of the top Egyptian ballet dancers don't necessarily want to encourage the newer Egyptian ballet dancers. A lot of them are hogging the market. I talk about lots of issues like this. It's not just to blame on Western ballet dancers as well. For example, you know, people that have been teaching Egyptian ballet dancers who are Egyptian have been the same for many, many years. And I respect the elders, and I do a lot of posting of older ballet dancers and all this, because that's gold. But it's also about bringing in the new. And there's actually been a lot of hostility recently in the ballet dance community towards the new generation, their new music, their new style. A lot of it's been clumped together. A lot of it is confusion. A lot of it has been associated with what foreign ballet dancers do to modern Egyptian music as well. And that's been associated with that's belly dance. And sometimes, no, that's just how foreign belly dancers are dancing in the top clubs to this new music that actually Egyptians themselves on the streets aren't dancing like this to this kind of music. So there's a lot of these mixed, as I said, it's very unsingular. It's a lot of food for thought, to be honest. But I also wanted to bring in younger youth. I wanted to have things like Maharaganat being represented by kids that do Maharaganat, that make Maharaganat music, that, you know, because there's a lot of hostility from the ballet dance community towards this. And I think sometimes it's misdirected hostility and also a lot of ignorance behind it. Ironically, as some of the people that criticize this stuff believe themselves to be knowledgeable of it, and actually they have no idea about Egyptian culture or Egyptian what it is, or what the roots of Maharaganat are, the roots of Shabby are, the roots of even belly dance are, or where belly dance in the context in Egypt is being performed, even back in the golden era times.
Right.
Even back in the golden era times, you had belly dance on certain different levels. There was always association between this and this. It wasn't only the level of what we look up to in the belly dance community of the golden era. There was also a lot of stuff going on back there.
Yeah. So, oh, excuse me. And I don't have access to that, you know, apart from through people like you. You know, how would I find this information? And, you know, looking for the people who are not. These days everyone needs an internet presence. It's like get on TikTok or Instagram. You're out there finding the people who we can't get access to, and those routes, and
or even if you could, yeah, how do you find them? They maybe are on TikTok, on Instagram, but if they're in Arabic, they're in Egypt, you know, where's these are things, barriers that disproportionately affect Egyptians compared to foreigners who may have had a better schooling in English, for example, so
right.
They can get all schooling in, you know, so, or find it easier to access the social media market.
Yes, yeah, and I love
it's easier for you if you come to Egypt to go and find a foreign ballet dancer to watch than it would be to find an Egyptian ballet dancer to watch. And it saddens me because I watch a lot of ballet dancers that come to Egypt and they end up touring Egypt to go and see the Egyptian night scene, and all they've ever seen is foreign ballet dancers. But I can also empathize. They're the people that are on Instagram, they're the famous ones, they're the ones that they think are the most famous, they're the ones that maybe are the most famous, they're the ones that they can call up on Instagram and ask, where are you at what time, and the communication's a lot easier. Right. So I understand these issues, but I was hoping to reverse some of that with my haflas and bring them to you, where you know where you can find them, access them, come and see them live. I'm really excited. There'll also be a little bit of an offer. I'm sorting it out with Tiffany at the moment of getting a free hafla ticket from the bundle as well, or part of the bundle. So that'd be really, really good. And yeah.
With your haflas, you're also doing kind of the opposite. You're showing the artists that there are people in the rest of the world that appreciate what they're doing and would like to know more. And you know.
Oh yes. Oh yes, some of them have grown wings and flown and not forgotten me. They're very good. No, some people have taken a much bigger, like a massive liking. So I have two Maharaganat singers. They've become little famous stars in the world of belly dance. Yeah. They're out there, you know, now they're teaching me and telling me, and now they keep getting invited to things. And the biggest problem is it's quite funny. I'm so proud of the people that have come, not just the singers, but there's been quite a few dancers that have come and made a name for themselves from the online haflas and discovered this world of Bellt dance and accessed them way in, or they had some kind of foundation, but it's really, really, really boosted them. It's been a bit scary because I feel very responsible for them because I put them in this world, and you know, especially these two singers. I work with two singers, Michelle and Nazika, and I've thrown them into this Bellt dance world, and the Bellt dance world's taken a big liking to them, and good for them, and there's been so much support. But then also it's been a bit of babysitting because they don't particularly speak English. They use Google Translate. The dancers think they're speaking English, and they've even got themselves into like pickles, and they've agreed to do things for dancers, and the dancers are like, they agreed to do this. I'm like, they don't understand what you're asking of them. And things like this. So I've had to go around, and it's brought a lot of, because also I feel very responsible for these people because I've brought them into this world, and and I feel like it's very overwhelming, but you know, we've got through that stage, and now Mohammed, Michelle and Nazika kind of have a bit of better grasp on what the Bellt dance community is like. You've also got to realize not all these artists, I don't want to pretend that Egyptians are naive or anything like that, but especially these young, they're not teenagers, they're early 20 boys, they don't have a clue about Bellt dance world, and there is this foreign illusion that foreigners are these amazing people bad, or that there's a you know, foreign Bellt dancers, this foreign Bellt dance world, this is so amazing, all these people are so kind and nice, and it's like, no, some of these people want to, you know, rip you off, do this, or you know, you've got to be careful as you would be in Egypt. But there's this, you know, naivety that white Western people are so much better than these Egyptian people, and that's internal racism that's being brought up or interbreeding of, to, you know, think that the Western world is so much nicer. It's sometimes bringing them back to earth, and it's been a really big experience. But I'm so happy that so many people, and these boys are now better at advertising on Facebook of me, and they have their own bands, and I'm really proud of them, and they've gone on to win awards in certain things. So I'm like, their music won an award in a Bellt dance competition and stuff like that. And I'm so proud of them, and but it was a learning process at the beginning, and even now, you know, I'm throwing some people really deep into the Bellt dance community, and I think some of them have come out quite well. So, yeah.
Well, I'm super grateful because just on a very personal level, you've introduced me to artists that I would never have found, and you know, your haflas and your newsletter have become part of my monthly, you know, routine, discovering new things. So thank you on a very personal level. I am so excited about your bundle lecture, and I'm really excited that you're going to be able to reach a whole lot new people.
I hope so, because I'm here and I'm pushing,
and you have so much important information.
My beliefs, and I just hope some more people come along for the ride and find out more, because I feel like it's a good
and that's one of the things I love about the bundle is you get to, I mean, what is it, 65 teachers this year? It's ridiculous. There's got to be something for everyone, and I think you're going to find a whole lot new fans, and I think people
I hope so.
So
and I hope they come along.
Hopefully we get to meet in person sometime in the UK again, maybe
Inshallah.
even Egypt. Who knows?
Come to Cairo and then come.
And then you have to
come
to Arizona, and we'll hang out.
Would love to, anytime.
Thank you so much for this today. No, I know we've had internet glitches, and you've been a superstar working with me today.
No, you've been a superstar. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. And thank you for your thanks. Sometimes it can be a bit of thankless. I don't know whether people realize, you know, what's going on or how much effort goes into it. So it's really lovely to be thanked. I really appreciate it. I'm so looking forward to the Bellt Dance Bundle.
Yay!
So looking forward to it. I feel honoured. So thank you to you. Thank you to Tiffany. Thank you to everybody involved in it all. And I can't wait.
Yay! Well, big kisses to you.
Ma salama from Egypt, and thank you so much. I'm just about to go get ready. I'm going to go dance to the boat.
Perfect.